First up, when you're done here, go to sarahblackhypno.com because I've got a free trial on at the minute that gives you total access to basically my entire library. For free. For 7 days. A week. For free. sarahblackhypno.com. Right after you're done here. Now, I know you've wondered it before, and not just one time. Why, oh why? Why can't I be normal? Why am I a sissy? Sound familiar? Was it one thing? One day? One moment where something happened and now because of that you're like this? If you could just find it, you could understand yourself more. Maybe even change it. Maybe even go back to the normal you. That's what you tell yourself, right? Well, here's the truth. You probably won't find that moment. Ever. But the good news is, you don't need to. What's the smoking gun, right? That one formative moment when you became a cross-dresser, or bi, or gay, or submissive, or whatever. You think if you identify that, you can understand it more, accept it more, maybe even counteract it. Well, kinda. Knowing the origin of a psychological phenomenon can be helpful. But it's not like a broken bone where you can say, blunt force trauma consistent with a giant purple dildo to the head, and then magically fix it. In that totally real scenario, the treatment's the same regardless of cause. To be fair, my instinct is always to think that, in psychology, yeah, identifying sources can help with understanding. I've got my own little traumas to deal with. Well, okay, giant gaping traumas. But we don't have time for all those. And we're here about your neuroses, not mine. And I've found the more I understand them, the better I can deal with them. But that's not always accurate. Because there's a big gap between knowing and doing. Like, I know this will make me feel better, so why don't I do it? Ever been there? But knowing is still better than not knowing. I can't give you the one moment that made me a dominant, though, because it doesn't exist. I've told you before about giving a presentation as a teenager. Scared, shaking, damn near hyperventilating at the start. But then I liked it. I liked controlling the room, managing when they laughed, deciding what they learned. And since then, I've done speeches, legal arguments, been on camera, led groups. Moments like that made me appreciate that I like control, even if it's scary sometimes. But they didn't say anything about vibrators, bondage, or men in panties. That presentation example wasn't even sexual, just a normal psychological event in the life of a teenager. But you can draw the line from there to here easily enough, can't you? So for you, with your shameful little secret fetishes you're too afraid to tell anyone but me about, how can you deal with it if you don't know where it started? I mean, that sounds reasonable enough as a question. But here's the thing, and you can get it from my examples. You don't need to know where something started to know it's real, or valid, or acceptable. Look, I get it. It's normal to want a single clean origin event. Spider-Gwen got bit by a radioactive spider and became a badass. You saw a hot lingerie outfit in a catalog and became a sissy. Nice and simple. And sometimes that happens. But usually not. Usually it's more like a network of streams converging over time into the big wetness of your, river. Maybe you tried on your mom's panties because you liked the feel, wore a dress to pretend to be a woman for a joke, put on lipstick because it made you feel pretty, stuffed a bra because you wanted more than one erogenous zone. Each little thing was just one tributary, not the sole beginning of everything. Those streams form what John Money, who was an asshole, but he was right about this, called a love map. A blueprint for your erotic desire. You don't consciously build it. It just forms, shaped by repetition. The water flows, the river grows. Put another way, those moments are the bricks that built the house of you. The panties brick, the anal brick, the oral brick, the submission brick, the hypno brick. You don't choose them. No one does. Your house gets built with whatever's lying around. Which means when it comes to why you're a sissy, it's probably not one moment, it's a pattern. Sexuality and kink formation are non-linear and multi-determined. Most kinksters can't trace their sexual interests to one event. So if you're looking for the moment the spider bit you, you're asking a question that probably doesn't have an answer. And that's not a flaw. That's just neuroscience. You're not a crime that needs solving. You're a person that needs acceptance. But it's worth saying that sometimes, a lot of the time, the need to find a cause is really just the need to externalize and find something to blame because you're ashamed. You know, I've never actually asked anyone this question, but I imagine if most cross-dressers, even those that are comfortable in their desires, could flick a switch and go back to heteronormalcy, a lot of them would do it. Not because they're ashamed, but because it would just make life so much easier if they were just like everyone else. And if you're listening to this, the odds are you're not one of them anyway, not all that comfortable with your desires. Some of you will be, sure, but probably not most of you. And so with that shame, if I gave you a magic switch that could make you some version of so-called normal, well, you'd hit it straight away, wouldn't you? But in the absence of that switch, you sit in the dark and worry and fret and agonize. Did porn make me like this? Was it because Dad didn't love me enough? Did Mom love me too much? Was I abused and blocked it out? Maybe. I don't know. But probably, no, not that. And in any case, what you're really asking is, did something or someone break me? And the answer to that's the clearest no I could ever give. And it has the benefit of being truthful. You're not broken. You are, to use that problematic little word, normal. You are a normal sexual being with, unusual, but consistent, observable, non-threatening patterns in your sexuality. You didn't make them up. You didn't choose them. They weren't imposed on you. They're not the result of some awful event so traumatic you can't even remember it. They're just a natural consequence of the way your life has gone up till now. And you're here looking for answers and exploring them because even if you wish they weren't, they are part of you and always will be. So working with them is healthier than avoidance. So you don't hide from them, pack them away, or try to save yourself by intellectualizing. You make something of them because, and this is the part that everyone forgets at one point or another, this is fun. This is fun. Seriously, there's a non-zero chance the mood you're in right now as you listen means you might not be particularly willing to hear that. Maybe you're upset, and I get that. But you don't pull on panties because there are magnets in them. You do it because it gets you off, because it's erotic, because it's sexy, because, yes, it's fun. And that's worthy of pride, not fear. So you may never find your smoking gun, but that doesn't make your sexuality invalid. It just means you're complex. And to be honest, the fact you're even thinking about it puts you ahead of most people, especially the ones drifting along in their tiny vanilla worlds, never asking why they are the way they are. Everyone's got demons. You're just self-aware and strong enough to look directly at yours. And you're learning without a map, without a support system, dealing with something alone that in an ideal world you'd have a whole team for. You're building something real and good out of yourself without every piece of the puzzle. All you've got right here, right now, just me. So you may as well listen when I tell you this. That is enough. You are enough. Still don't believe me? Well, it's not like I thought a 10-minute audio was going to change your life, even if every word I said was on point. So go to sarahblackhypno.com and listen to another 10 minutes, and then another 10 after that. There's... I don't even know how many hours of content there now. I put out a hypno session a week, and I didn't start last month, so there's a lot. And stuff like this usually comes in the form of a blog post each week, which is something I did just to keep my own mind ticking, and was really pleasantly surprised to see became a really popular feature. You can follow for free and read a lot of them and listen to some hypno sessions, but right now there's also a free trial on. So, why wouldn't you click on that? Free. As in, costs nothing. Me. For free. Free me. Okay, I'm done now.